we are going to practice 3 problems, and then that's going to wrap it up. So we're going to graph these on a number line first, because it's really easy to see interval notation after we graph it on a number line. All right, here we go. Just a preface, and I'm just going to pause this. I've got some double conditions going on. Anytime anytime x is in the middle of 2 inequalities, you have 2 conditions that you have to satisfy. Let me just cover up this part first. The first thing that you need to satisfy is -3 is going to be less than or equal to x. It just means x is going to be greater than or equal to -3. Great. But that's not all we have. They also need to be less than 5. So greater than or equal to -3, but less than 5. Let's plot this on a number line. So you and I are going to write a number line in our notes. Let's make it so basic. Just draw yourself a number line. And don't get crazy on the detail with your number line. We're just going to write 2 numbers. We're just going to write -3 and +5. But make sure you put them in order. Put them in order from least to greatest. All right. So here's -3. I'm going to draw a circle around my tick mark there. Do I color that circle in? I do color it in. Why do I color it in? Because it's part equal. When it has that bottom half of that equal sign, we do color it in. Why? Because it's fun to color. Why do I color it in? Because it can be -3 because it's included. So y'all, if you color in a circle, that means it's included. And remember, on interval notation, we use a bracket. So boom, I know off the bat I'm going to have a bracket in my answer. All right, so x's are greater that way, and I would shade forever that way if that was the only condition I had. But it's not forever. It's only up to 5. So I'm going to draw a circle around my 5. Do I color this in? No, it's not part equal. Good. And it is not part equal because it's excluded. So when you exclude a value, it's an open circle for sure. Do y'all remember what the symbol is on interval notation? Parenthesis. Great job. So we're going to have one of each. We're going to have one bracket and one parenthesis. All right. So I want all these values up here right up to, boom, 5. Okay. So now that I've shaded that appropriately, that is correct. Did I shade an arrow? Did y'all shade an arrow on your number line? You did not. If you do not have an arrow shaded, then there's no infinity symbol in our answer. So when I write this in interval notation, I'm going to read what I graphed, just like a sentence from left to right. So I see that I colored in a -3. I shaded in all of this. It stops at the 5, and that is your interval notation. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. So for the next one, I need x to be less than or equal to +3. X is less than or equal to +3. So I'm going to draw a number line. Well, the only number I have is 3. And it's part equal, so y'all told me to color it in. Okay. Which direction do I shade? Where does x's get smaller, to the left or to the right? Yeah. Forever. Forever and ever and ever. What number means forever in math? Infinity. Very good. So listen, and this is actually kind of important, and this is going to be a reoccurring theme. Anytime an arrow is part of your answer, infinity is in it. So I shaded an arrow, so -infinity is going to be part of my answer. Can I equal -infinity? Can you equal infinity? No. So you're never going to put a bracket next to infinity. So it's approaching negative infinity. Notice I wrote a parenthesis. You can never, ever, ever have a bracket next to that symbol. And then here's 3. And then what do I draw next to 3 right here?
Bracket.
Very good. Bracket, because it's included. All right, guys. We're going to do one more for today. So you can ignore that, because I want to focus on this. Okay. X is less than -1, or X is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, well, let's graph it. So -1, +5. Oh, I meant to write that right there. +5. Okay. Gonna draw some circles on these guys. This is definitely not colored in, but this one is, so it is part equal for the 5. Okay, so X is less than -1. That's going to be all these values. Or X is greater than or equal to +5. So we're going to hop over this portion of our number line. So important. And we are going to shade where X is greater than 5. All right, there's 2 things that you need to know. Thing number 1 is, did you shade any arrows? Yes, you did. How many arrows did you shade? 2. There's 2 infinity symbols in our answer. When I go to read this, all of these are solutions, and then there is a gap. And then I pick back up when I'm reading from left to right, and there's more solutions. Every time you have a gap, you are going to write the intersection symbol. I don't even care if you know it's the word intersection. All you need to know is when there's a gap in solutions, you are going to use that symbol right there. Super important. We use it a lot. You'll get points off if you don't use it. All right, let me write my answer. Again, guys, it's so easy when you read stuff like a sentence. Here's the left. Ooh, the first thing I see is the negative arrow shaded. That means I start with negative infinity. Okay, all of my solutions stop right there at -1. I can see through -1. So I know that is a parenthesis. And then I have no answers. Whenever there's a gap, you have to put the intersection symbol, which means or. Gap, gap, gap. Oh, I pick up right here. I pick up at +5. I cannot see through 5. So I know it starts with a bracket. But then it goes on forever. So what do you think I wrap this up with? Infinity. What do you want me to put after that? Parentheses. That's right. So that one's probably